I call to order the March 11th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Have a roll call, please. Oh, man.
We're ready.
It was down. Terrible.
Amanda here.
Ready. All right.
I said Amanda here
twice. Here.
Here.
Hi, Daryl here.
Michael here.
Jeff here.
Eric here.
Please rise.
Hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So we need an approval of the regular agenda. Has everybody read it? Is there any questions and changes? Oh, James, may I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda, Wednesday, March 11th, 2026.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes of February 25th, 2026. Has everybody read them? And checked them? Anybody? Motion, please.
I have a motion to approve the minutes of Wednesday, February 25th, 2026.
Second, please.
I'll make second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Declaration of conflicts of interest on tonight's agenda. Anybody? No? We'll open to public comment. Is there anybody? There's obviously no, but well, would you like to have a public comment?
No one online.
No one online. We'll close public comment. Special presentations. There aren't any. Design review and land use public hearings. There aren't any. Discussion and direction items. Would this be a good time to introduce Jessica? Somebody can help.
Yeah, this is Jessica Copeland. She is our planning intern for the next few months. She's going to just work on some planning projects, maybe help you guys with some extra investigation on code things. I know there's a lot of questions that come up. So yeah, I think it's for week 2, started a little bit last week. So yeah, she may be working on a lot of different things of just research and preparing things for council. And today we're just working on the speed data. We've been gathering speed data on Main Street and Minturn Road. And when she has that all put together, she's going to make a presentation to council, and that'll be really good. So just things like that.
You want to tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, what's your background?
Sure. So hi, everyone. Really excited to be here. I have been in the Valley since 2023. I've worked as an outdoor educator and also guide, and I've been trying to make a career switch to urban and environmental planning. So I've been networking with folks in the Valley a lot, and I met Scott, and that led to knowing about this position. And I'm going to grad school in the fall for urban and environmental planning back in Virginia, where I am from. So really excited to be here and hope to focus in housing in rural resort communities in the future. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Welcome.
Sounds like a good plan.
Staff reports, managers report.
Any questions for me? What you got me?
What do you got me? I had one after the council meeting the other night about, one of you, because I didn't have the packet to read, about a housing thing that was in there.
About the regional housing authority.
Could you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, in the fall, it's been really led by, I feel like, Avon, but also Eagle County, exploring a multi-jurisdictional housing authority. They started that. There was a presentation to council. I can't quite remember if that was October or when that was, which was kind of broad and wasn't super specific. I don't remember the details of it that well, but they went from there to kind of exploring the feasibility of a multi-jurisdictional housing authority. Right now, the county has one on its own, and Vail has one. But I think, there's a big push, in particular for Avon. They have a lot of projects lined up to provide workforce housing, employee housing, but funding is the issue. So part of this is kind of moving in that direction. What was presented at council, you can see it in the packet. I think it was a 2 or 3 page memo that kind of summarizes where they are thus far. They're kind of comparing 2 potential models, looking at a typical housing authority model where maybe you'd have a board, it functions kind of on a regional level in the county, or a hybrid type model with a pass through. So what that would be is You know, for example, whatever the revenue generation mechanism that's chosen, and there's some numbers in there about the first chart to understand is those are maximums of like what they thought of looking at a sales tax, construction use tax, mill levy, just looking at maximums so you can see, okay, like what kind of money can you actually generate here? And then the second chart is kind of playing out a hybrid scenario. So for example, a certain percentage would go back to the Regional Housing Authority to help administer programs, in particular deed restrictions, that's a big lift. And then the rest would go directly to the town that decides to participate. And those dollars could be spent by the town how it chooses on whatever restrictions voters put as far as what would be in the ballot language.
So it would go to vote.
But yeah, and ultimately it'll be up to the county commissioners and each town council to determine whether they want to participate or not and
That's
send it to a ballot.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're kind of just at the initial phases of that conversation. I think because we had so many numbers going back and forth at the last meeting that maybe the conversation with council wasn't particularly robust. There was a lot because most of you were focused on the water treatment financing, and so there's a lot of discussion and direction items. So we're going to come back, and Jessica's going to help me with that, and to what extent we have some capacity here to go back to the council and try to kind of focus on, okay, if this moves forward, what are our priorities and what could we do with this kind of funding locally, and just kind of give a little bit more guidance there. But this is not anything that's expected to move anytime soon. Last time when we had a meeting with the county in Avon, they said maybe 27 at the soonest, but maybe 28 would be when they want to go in.
And then you got update on pending legislation, which I read most of them. Did everybody?
Wait, I have one other question.
Go ahead.
So US 24 pedestrian improvement project phase 2. So the first phase that was this past summer.
That was a long time ago, actually. The first kind of main extension down Main. So this phase 2 is from that. I don't know how many years ago that was funded by CDOT TAP grant. Was that at least 10 years ago?
No.
No.
4.
4 or 5? Oh, okay. So phase 2 is that, but we ran into a lot of problems last year, a lot of communication problems and problems with Excel. I think we kind of miscommunications about, hey, we need to move a gas line and it's the main gas line that feeds the town. And I feel like Excel was a little unresponsive. And so it's like just time was burning. And then by the time it was like September, October, it was like, there's not enough time to move this gas line. So we kind of had to stop and then we're coming back. Excel has said to us that they will be here May 1st to start that gas line relocation that's necessary for the sidewalk. I'm going to have a meeting with somebody at Excel next week and just be like, hey, like we're really counting on a May 1st for this. So it's taken a while to kind of put it back together, but that's where we're targeting.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, because the previous last summer's construction was quite painful
On the south end?
On the south end.
Yeah, there was a lot of disturbance, and there's disturbance coming from Belden. And they did some groundwork, but they didn't actually lay any sidewalk or move any utilities, so it was quite inconvenient.
Okay,
So-
cool. That was all my only question is what.
Anybody else?
Yeah, thanks.
I talked to Scott the other day, or you can answer, but I ran into Taylor Hermes and she brought me up to date on what's happening at Minturn North. Can you tell us about that?
Can you remind me?
You forgot already?
Yep.
She told me how many of them sold, how many were left, how many are locals, how many. She went through that.
You should still get it.
The project is sold out. Even lot 13, which was the last one. I thought that was kind of funny. Minturn North.
Okay.
There is one lot that is not being built on at the moment because it was bought by an investor who hasn't decided quite if he's going to sell it or build it. 70% of it is going to be year-round residents, which I think is great. I mean, that's not a ton, but 70% is
Pretty good.
30 of the homes, 29 of the homes. And there's quite a few families moving in with children, which kind of surprised them. And that was something like that was talked about at council the other night too. I think there's 4 or 5 families for sure with children out there, which is great. So it went well. It went fast, which is what the people on Taylor Street were hoping for. Because most of your noise will be done probably. I don't know. Inside noise will probably still be there, but I'm guessing that looks to me like most of the outsides are up and going. So
For a project that size, we've had very few substantive issues with construction management or anything having to do with their actual project. So,
Hearing about so many families with kids, that's going to put pressure on the town to get that park going.
we don't know what that's gonna be. That's a public process that we need to go through for that track C.
Yeah,
Could be a park, it could be housing that the town wants to build, it could be both. Arnold at one point had his eyes on that for snow storage.
course.
So
yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of, but in the past, we had talked about sort of like the Highlands process, putting it to the public. At least having some open houses and trying to figure out what people might want to see there.
It's less than an acre, right? Just under.
Just under an
Yeah.
acre. So it's not a lot of land and it's not the easiest piece of land to develop. It's got some pretty significant slope issues and lines of sight issues. But that's a process we haven't quite done yet, so.
So I guess that one is coming to an end is what was from the way I heard it, which is a good thing.
And that also means that the temporary structures and that whole
Yep.
that
Will
that
leave.
will leave.
Yes.
Anybody else have planning commission comments? Anybody else have anything? No? Okay. Future meetings. March 25th.
Yes, so because of the RTAP, which Scott can explain what RTAP is, because I'm not quite sure. Because of the RTAP open house thing that's happening that week, our meeting will be virtual. I will have it upstairs on the conference room screen if anybody has a burning need to be here, other than Lynn, who doesn't have a computer. So you can attend there if you would like. Otherwise, I will just send out panelist links.
Do we see a lot on that agenda?
Mhm.
The RTAP's not on our agenda, so.
It is not on your agenda. No, right now I have one DRB from Intern North and some Intern Forward. That's all I have on the agenda.
If you could come to that, there's 2 days, that would be really great for us.
Well, we can't obviously do it Wednesday night because our meeting.
No, but on the 24th, 2 to 6 p.m. is a workshop. And then Wednesday the workshop is 6 to 7. But if you can come, that'd be great. We've had some graduate students from UC Boulder working on RTAP is recreational tourism activation. They work with rural communities and how you can activate your local economy by connecting to rec opportunities and things like that. And there's 4 students. They've been really great to work with. So we're hoping we can get a good showing for them, tell them about what you think and all that stuff.
I asked.
24th.
Yeah.
Well,
So Tuesday and Wednesday. But yeah, you can stop by. We'll have food. So there you go.
I talked to Cindy and I asked her if she could try to find out what was going to be spoken about at each of the 3, so that people might be able to look and see what they're more interested in, maybe to come and do that.
I think feedback on priorities as they relate to outdoor rec, barriers that we may have to facilitating outdoor rec. A lot of the themes have been about connectivity, lack of connectivity, concerns about, how do we make sure that we have the businesses that can support people that are doing outdoor rec? Because that's very different than maybe a resort type crowd. And then also just managing impacts from rec. We have issues with that of the shooting range and parking lots overflowing and things like that. And so just, providing feedback on your concerns or things you would hope and wish for. We've had some comments about it's something that I hope we can explore at some point is doing a bit more managed rec on federal land since, federal management is pretty absent these days. If there's ways that we can help address some of these issues we're experiencing that are occurring on federal land around us, I think that would be helpful. So
I know you talking about I know the town of Vale has they've explored getting permits to enter some of their big, most loved trails or overloved trails.
Is VVMTA
Yeah.
coming?
yeah, they've been participating. Hopefully that somebody will be able to make it. They're kind of hit and miss. I know they're pretty busy. But they've been on some of the meetings. But yeah, kind of like that. I mean, looking at, it's complicated, with the federal government, you got to have a special use permit, and the more the scope increases, the more they want NEPA. that's costly, but it's something we could look at over time, I think.
I have a question to you. There was something in the manager's report about in the beginning of April that Public Works is going to help expand Game Trails Park or Cross Creeks.
Yeah, Forest Service gave a green light with VVAMTA is the one that's was able to work with Forest Service to get approval to expand that parking lot so we can get the cars off the road. And initially we budgeted like $20,000 to help them, but you know, when Mike, our public works director, went in there, was like, look, we can do a lot of this. We just need the materials, and Forest Service is supplying those. Basically, we're not going to spend any cash. Yeah, I think it's like 15 more or something.
Where?
At Grouse Creek,
Across in
you know where the cars are always parked in the highway across from.
No, exactly, but when you do that, I mean, there's a creek that runs to the creek runs.
So there's a big open spot.
The creek's to the
between
north.
that and-
I think on the north side, right? There's a spot there. That's where they're going to add it.
That's where all the deer, I mean, that's where like, yeah.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, Daryl.
That's dangerous parking that street. When I was working on the roofs down there, I watched one lady rear end 3 cars and they had the ambulances come. And it's,
Oh, yeah, people are going like 45, 50.
and there's-
well, yeah, she must have thought that cars were moving or something, but
There's a lot of animals that come down. Right next to that
I had a
creek and
question.
feed. And then that's it, they cross the highway.
This,
Yeah,
have never seen one.
On-
yeah, I see there all the time, but that's
Do
my.
we know
Price must have changed.
what we're working on that?
It'll likely be the sections
I
that
thought the corral was.
had highlighted in red in the last version of Article 3, the last article that y'all reviewed that said staff was working on these, so we'll be providing.
Changes,
things
yeah.
we were working on.
It's.
No, and of course I ask the hard questions. But when the time comes and we're reviewing, because we've all pounded through this, you know, staff and us. And when the time comes that we start writing up our next section. And when we've had those hard discussions, and it's probably only been 5 or 7 times. You know, Scott knows where I'm going. We had those hard things where, you know, we have a unanimous opinion and, you know, and sometimes you guys have a difference of opinion because it's such, it took so much work for everybody to put that all together. I'm thinking maybe somehow we can, so we're not reading through it, even though we're going to read through everything again. Maybe if there's a spot that staff disagrees with us, maybe we can highlight those sections as to where we are, what we thought, and you know, what you guys thought. So council, like you said, so council can figure it out, because otherwise it's going to be really hard for us to figure out just those specifics.
Go ahead.
We at one of the many previous meetings we've had about midterm forward, I think it was right after we got through the zoning and we had expressed differences of opinion. Staff had committed to bringing back a memo with the list of the things and the reasoning behind each difference of opinion, so that y'all could review that before that's presented to council.
No, and that'd be good, because that way, you know, and I appreciate that, because we can review it, and then however it's laid out. Obviously, if we still have this, I don't know what it's called, we'll go with discrepancies or difference of opinion.
Right, and we want to
So-
make sure that we're accurately representing your stances, even if they are different from our.
Well, and then that way, you know, council can also see,
Mhm.
you know, that what we think and what you think, and, you know, and you know, they're our bosses, so they can decide what they think. But I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that, because I thought we're gonna get like, I mean, eventually we're gonna get like another 300 pages.
Eventually you'll have the whole ordinance to go through, but yeah, I won't make you come through that for the little the places where we disagree. It'll be summarized.
Yeah, we could highlight it, mark the section, that'd be super, that'd save us.
You know, the 3 of us, us two and Matt, we took good notes, and I think Madison's right. We committed to that, and we've continued to take notes and highlight those things so we can, it doesn't take us 10 hours to go through everything again to find those areas where we had disagreements. We already kind of have that in this start.
Yeah, you have a list, we go, whatever we're working on. I'll just say, section 3, whatever.
In the whole, I mean, not that we're talking about that tonight, but I appreciate.
Germaine is the word.
Germaine. On the whole of the hundreds of pages of text that you guys have worked through and all the, difficult and non-difficult, but substantive, discussions that we've had, and a lot of good comments from you and a lot of good direction. If we have a handful or two handfuls of areas where we've got differences of opinion, that's not.
We're doing good,
That's- Yeah.
for sure. And that's that new word you taught me, so.
Use it on your kids.
So I have two questions for the next meeting.
Yes.
How big is Minturn Forward going to be? What sections are we covering?
Like I just told Michael, the Article 3 that y'all reviewed last time had several sections that had red text saying that staff is working on this. We'll bring it back to you. We're bringing those sections back.
That's it.
That's it.
The reason I'm asking is because if people want to come to some of this other meeting, that's all, we only have 4 days to read that packet before our meeting. So if it's real big, you're probably not gonna, coming to the RTAP, is that what you called it? Would be difficult because those are the days that most of us have the opportunity to read our packet. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there a little if we can. I mean, I'm happy to come probably on Tuesday, but that's usually the day one of the days I contribute to reading. So if you can keep that in thought. And then the other thing is when we get the whole packet back, we split that into at least 2 meetings, so we're not going to do the whole thing in 4 days.
Seems reasonable. I think.
Because I think all of us here will really want to look at what we've done and take a good look at it.
Yeah, front to end, but
Doing that whole thing in one meeting, you only have 4 days to do it, and you don't know what your personal life is going to be also. I mean, it would be great if we could break it up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Rob, what was the time again on the 24th?
2 to 6.
Wow, Michael.
I take notes.
Yeah.
My writing's so,
He's the
Good
one who can
notes.
decipher his notes. but he
my
takes-
writing's so bad, nobody else can read them.
Yes, I was very thankful
Here.
when you turned in your application that you had typed it up. I was just like, thank God I don't have to read his writing.
And we don't have to come for those 4 hours. It's just a meet and greet.
They want you to come to a segment. We'll try to do what Lynn alluded to is figure out where what's being discussed.
Obviously, none of us would be here for the 4 to
The other
6.
thing too is it's if you can't make it and you got a lot going on, but you want to provide some input, I can send you over what they got working on, and then you could just take a look at it and say, hey, this is what I think, and we'll put it in.
Will it be on Zoom?
No, we're gonna do it old school.
So the only
They
two,
want it interactive.
would be Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings, because the other one is from 4 to 7, and we start at 5:30, unless you came from 4 to 5:30.
It's not a competition for them, right?
No, it's just I think they are. What are they? Masters of the Environment is the program. So they're just trying to get experience. I just try to make sure there's some people there, so they're excited about it, and I want us to look engaged and that we support them.
So the 24th, 2 to 6.
Who was the group member, Scott, that the college kids came up and there was a competition?
Yeah, but that was a competition on Dow Junction.
That's what it was.
It was really cool.
And they're going to stay here. I think they're going to stay at Eagle River, and they're going to do a tour that day. So they're going to be here for 2 days.
Cool.
It'll be cool.
It's just CU?
I think it's with partnership with Colorado State. But I don't know if there is somebody from Colorado State in the program this time on our group. I
Okay.
do 2 or 3 groups.
You guys should have an email when you get home, because Cindy gave me this and it references that it was sent out in an email to all of you. I got the paper copy. But it says J.A. Family Man, is that you?
Last time I checked.
And then it says Master Sealers, and then it says D.B. Call, is that you?
Me.
You, and then it says Amanda, and then it says TripIt, Yahoo. So you all should have an email to look at. No, this went out on March 2nd.
Oh,
And it tells you at the bottom and on the back of the page a little bit more about it. So, for me, it's the back of the page for you to
I
love.
usually get those, but it's pretty
You're
cool.
welcome. And it says snacks provided.
You show up
Special.
too.
Okay, is that it?
As a reminder, planning commission applications are due tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have yours. Jeff and Eric, I do not have yours.
I know.
I'm just giving you a helpful reminder. You
I
have less
know.
than 24 hours,
Got any other ones, Madison?
actually. Yeah.
Spill the beans.
Melissa with Law for Locals has applied.
She has been on once before with me.
She said that. Andre, I am assuming his last name is pronounced Vite, but it could be Vite, Vite. I'm not sure. He has a planning background. He works for Colorado, either CU or CSU and Schultz, in their planning department. And then
Does he live up here?
he does. Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one. I'm gonna have to double check. That might be it.
Yeah, you need.
Yeah.
Okay, so. We know about March meeting, April 8th. Anybody missing at that point?
When?
April 8th.
Nope.
No.
I don't know. Actually, I think I'm here the 8th. I think I leave the 9th.
Okay, but we should have a good turnout. Okay.
Yeah. Just remember that last week in April, the April 22nd one is break.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you're going anywhere.
I'm going out.
I'm out of the country.
I'm out like the 8th through the early.
You're 18th through the 25th.
No, I'm going out. Zoom. Like the 9th.
Yeah, I don't even think I would zoom.
Yeah, but yeah.
That
Guys,
22nd.
keep that in mind. Thank you.
I will be here. We'll be here. Eric, are you going out?
I don't know yet for sure.
Okay,
Keep us posted.
and that's on current conditions.
Just to like look forward, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't reapply.
Makes sense. I appreciate the earlier heads up than a last minute one.
Or we might be able to reschedule one of them.
Might be able to reschedule it.
Okay, with that, we have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second,
I second.
motion by Daryl, second by Michael, all in favor?
Bye.
I.
Thank you.
Okay.